Kick-Ass Switch, putting the K in magic. I'm Joanna DeVoe, and you're watching another video on the law of attraction. I'm kind of on a roll here, and that's because once you bring up the law of attraction, lots of questions come into play, and these are all questions I've asked myself as far as the questions that I've been getting in my emails. And so I feel like it's only fair to at least address these questions, if not answer them, because I don't know that they can be answered. Really, it's one big question that pops up in various forms, and that is, if like attracts like, and we're all creating our reality with our thoughts and our emotions, and we have been our entire existence, how do you explain child abuse and starving children in Africa, people who died in concentration camps? Are these things that people are bringing on themselves? Are you telling me I'm supposed to believe that some poor kid that has suffered from some crippling disability since the day he was born and gets bullied at school and picked on by his family is somehow vibrationally bringing that upon himself? And my answer to that is no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. There are people who say that. They don't say that in so many words. What is popularly believed in the law of attraction community is that our souls choose the life circumstances that we're coming into and the families that we're coming into and the bodies that we're coming into intentionally before we are born and with purpose. So let's say Teal Scott, she's someone who adamantly insists that she had this experience and she can remember this experience. I've heard other people say this too. They remember choosing to come into a disabled body or an abusive situation on purpose. Abraham Hicks or Esther Hicks, however you want to look at it, she also says that we make this choice. I'm not saying that because I don't know. I don't know where we go after we die. I don't know where we were before we got here. I do feel deeply that we are eternal souls, and I happen to believe, keep in mind, belief is something that is faith-based. It's not a fact, but I believe that we are all part of divine energy, and therefore we are creative because we are part of the mysterious creative energy that is responsible for this world and universe that we're living in. I think karma is a lovely idea and theory, but I don't see it as a fact. Just as I don't see it as a fact that when we die we're going to heaven or hell. In fact, I pretty much just reject that altogether. I think you make your own heaven or hell here on earth. And I don't believe, and I don't not believe, that we choose the circumstances that we come into before we're born. That's because there's no proof of that. There's no evidence. And even people who say that they've experienced this for themselves, even if they're people that I really respect and admire, it doesn't hold a lot of weight with me. I'm one of those people who just, I'm okay with the mystery. I'm okay not knowing. I don't have to know these huge answers. And if you're a person who does, the best you can do is search your soul and go from your gut instinct about what it is you choose to believe. But just remember, it's a choice. And we might not even get to know after we die. You might never get to know. So you might as well just get down to the business of living now, in the here and now. And that's how I apply the law of attraction. Yes, I live my life by the law of attraction, but I don't necessarily buy into all of the theory or dogma, you know, the bigger implications of what that means in terms of abuse, let's say. But if you are a person who is abused, if you have come into this situation with no fault of your own, or maybe you attracted it to yourself, I don't know, but if you're in that situation, the law of attraction is still so applicable to you. Maybe you more than anyone, because you are going to choose how you're going to process that information. Are you going to allow it to strengthen you? Are you going to allow it to make you an advocate for other people that are in your situation and help them find a way out? Are you going to become a Viktor Frankl or an Oprah Winfrey or a Jan Van Zant or some nameless, faceless person who is hiding out in your house with an array of nervous disorders, unwilling to trust, unwilling to go out into the world? Maybe you're going to become a perpetrator and keep that cycle of abuse going. There are a number of ways that you can handle it. Watch the Special Olympics. Watch people who have had amazing hardships and difficulties in their lives. Read those stories, watch those TV programs, and get inspiration from someone who's lost both of their legs and who is running races and winning races. There are people who are in worse positions than you who are enjoying their lives or who have found a way out. I think finding meaning in your situation is the best that you can do. Finding meaning and then letting that be your purpose, letting that fuel your purpose. It's always a choice, and you have the choice. I also believe strongly in the principle that like attracts like. So what you focus on is what you're going to get. And you don't even have to think of like the spiritual implications of the law of attraction. It's just a very handy bit of psychology. If you think of it like maybe baseball or golf, think of it as a ball game. If you're going to hit the ball, you need to be looking at where you want the ball to go. You can't be looking down at the ball. You can't be thinking about what you're going to eat for lunch or what that person back home said to you before you got to the game. If you are thinking about those things, you're not going to hit your target. The ball is not going to go where you want it to go. The only way to make that happen is to be very focused on where you want that ball to go. And then your body will just fall into alignment. You will hit that ball and it will beautifully go right where your focus is. Life is like that. Another example, I had to take traffic school way back in the day. I got a speeding ticket and I chose to go to traffic school. And the one thing that I remember and took away from this is the teacher said that statistically people hit cop cars more than other cars because they get nervous around cop cars, and that's where their focus goes, and so somehow they end up just like driving right into the back or side of a cop car because they get nervous and they get kind of locked up and their focus is on that cop car and they end up bumping them in traffic. That happens a lot apparently, or at least according to that cop, and that's another example of where attention goes, energy flows. So please, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater here. The law of attraction works. Like attracts like is a universal law that you can apply to just about every part of your life, and you do not have to subscribe to the bigger spiritual ideas that people like to throw around. They are comforting. It is comforting to think, if you had relatives that died in a concentration camp, that they made that choice, that their soul made that choice to serve a greater purpose. It's a comforting thought. It feels good. It's a better feeling thought than they were just victims of pure evil and their life was a waste. So it's not a bad thing to choose. It's not a bad choice to make. So make the choice that you will, but try out the law of attraction. Play with it. It's just fun. It's not going to hurt you, and you might find that you like it. Much love. Peace.